Welcome to a video I really didn't want to have to make. Let's get at it. Welcome back. It's been a minute. What I want to do is explain my absence from the channel and basically fill you in on what the future of the channel is, if any, and what to expect going forward. As some of you may know, a while back I made some mentions on some social media. Patrons know a little bit more information, things like that. And I did say a little bit in a video or two. A few months back, I started having some health problems. The main one being a level of fatigue that I can only describe as crippling. And when I say crippling, I mean like not being able to get off the couch for days at a time, having to psych myself up to go just make a trip to the kitchen or bathroom. So yeah, not good times. I, of course, wound up going to a doctor, and at each point, and I've given a couple of updates, sometimes it can take months to get appointments. So, trying to get this thing resolved just stretched out further than I ever thought it could. And, you have to get an appointment, then you have to get a consult, which sometimes can take a month from the time of that appointment, then sometimes another 3 weeks for them to actually get to the scans and to make sure what they're telling you is right. But long story short, over a couple of months, we basically thought that we had it narrowed down, but we're waiting for testing and, like I said, having to go through this process. And I gave some estimates that a couple of times that I would be back at a certain point, or I would start doing videos and getting the patron content fulfilled as promised, and I haven't been able to meet it a number of times. But I thought, okay, we're going off the best information, and that turned out to just keep getting hosed. I would go to another appointment, and then I would get some new information and things like that. So eventually, where it went to was what we thought was going on, not quite what was going on. So things eventually escalated to an emergency situation. I had to be taken in for an emergency surgery, rushed to a completely different hospital, things like that. And without getting into the full detail, the end point is I have a very serious illness, and it is not curable. So eventually, there's the clock is going to stop ticking. So that's been my absence. Recovering from that, getting things in order, and just the time of waiting until we were forced to deal with it because of the emergency situation, and then finding out what the actual condition was. So, as I said, right now I'm in treatment, and I don't have any answers, so I can't pass much on to you, but trust me, if there was anybody who wanted to get real lockdowns on what to expect as far as time, things like that, I would love to be the one to know, but it's just kind of a treat it and see as you go kind of thing, and that's just the way it is. So basically, for the past couple of months, my life has been a never-ending series of the Ron Burgundy meme. So what does that mean for the channel, and is it over? As far as I can tell you, no. Like I said, I'm in treatment, but because I don't know anything about timelines or what effects medications, things like that may have on me, I don't know how much quality time I have, how much crappy time I have, things like that. But my intention is to still keep making some content for you guys. So do I think that more stuff's coming up? I can guarantee some stuff's going to come up here. What I can say is going to be different, though, is it's not probably going to be as consistent because I'm not as consistent. And it'll probably come in waves as I can do it, and I can offer no guarantees. That's just the way it is. The main issue with it being that I have, especially now, still problems with long-term projects or things like that because the fatigue sets in, or just from treatments and things. I just don't have the focus and clarity that I used to if I have to work on something for a while. And especially doing things like gear demos, stuff like that, where I have to write a performance and then record it and then get that videoed right and get all the lights set up and, all the things that go into a video that, can be surprising how long it takes. That type of a stretch is just really difficult for me. Now, on the other side, just to veer off for a minute, if you are a student and, we've been on recess for a little bit, but if you're coming back, this won't affect you. I'm still perfectly able to teach, doing like a 1-hour lesson, something like that, totally capable of it. It's when I may have to sit down for 6-7 hours, something like that, and do a project, that's where things get a little hazy. So that's why doing videos is a little bit harder than maintaining the teaching. So if you had contacted me before, or you were looking for lessons and had been thinking about approaching me, still totally fine. It would be my honor to work with you. And any of my current students, this will not affect you. Now, as far as, like I said, the channel going forward, some of the content may change based on my ability. So some stuff I may do, like gear demos, are probably going to slow down a bit because they just take a good bit more time. I'm looking at probably doing some more performance pieces like the bass solo that I did a while back, and then teach some of the pieces that go into that, demo some things, or just talk about sound or my rig or that kind of thing. Hit me up in the comments and let me know what kind of content you hope to see more of out of the channel, so maybe that can help me get my head around it and plan a bit with going forward and seeing what I can do. And on the other side, being told that the clock is ticking for you, it changes your priorities pretty quick. There's things that I just need to do, and I got to take that time out to do it. I'd love to work on some new music, and there's just people that, I want to see and things like that. And, just general life stuff that you keep thinking, I'll get to that, that can happen later, that type of thing. Later ain't a thing. So it's got to get on the agenda now. Bringing it all to a close, what does this mean for the channel? Is more content and videos going to keep coming? I can pretty well say yeah. Will it be on a consistent basis or on regular timelines? No. It's just not something I can do, and I can't promise it, and I don't want to promise it, as I have, especially to patrons. I love you guys. Thank you so much for holding on with me and getting, promises about, getting new content up and stuff that just I haven't been able to deliver on. But it'll, like I said, likely come in waves as I'm capable of doing it. Now, on the other side of that, I want to say in particular that I've been contacted through, some social media, messages from patrons, different things like that, and people who had a little bit of understanding or knew that some things were going on with me health-wise, and I've been absolutely astounded and flattered and just amazed by the kindness and concern for me from people that I've never met, and some I've never talked to you before or anything else. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. A lot of messages and things, I feel bad, and I'm going to start trying to get back to that type of thing. I haven't been able to reply either because of just chaos with, there's a new doctor appointment every 2 minutes or something like that. Or sometimes one of the great side effects of some of my treatment is I just can't read things. Like I'll try and type and it just looks like words that should make sense and don't. So making replies and things like that just become really tough, and I feel bad that I haven't been able to. but if you have messaged me, know that I have seen it, and I greatly appreciate it. And the overwhelming majority of you guys have just been awesome. So maybe to, you know, get back in person and chat with you guys and everything, and just kind of kick off again, maybe a live stream coming up. That's not too taxing. We can talk some gear. I can answer some questions, maybe some questions that you posted on videos that I haven't seen or been able to get to. You can hit me up during there. Let me know if you think that'd be cool down in the comments. Definitely going to be reading it because I can read better now. And it'll be great to talk with you guys again. I've definitely missed the community and stuff here. Now, on a slightly negative note, but something I just wanted to address, is, like I said, the overwhelming majority of you guys have been amazing, but there has been a very small minority, and I mean very, very small. So I, at first, didn't even know if I wanted to bring it up, but I think it's something that, on behalf of myself and other creators, something that should be brought up concerning a certain group of people, very small one, who have messaged and basically challenged me, or, you know, just kind of busted my ass about, hey, where's the videos? Where's the podcast? What are you doing? Why aren't you putting out stuff? To you people, I wanted to give a little bit of a message and an awakening, if I could, just for you. Okay, so come on in. Come in close. I want to make sure you hear this. I don't owe you anything. None of these creators do. Okay? We are human beings. We have families and jobs and lives. I'm not some organ grinder monkey that sits here and just exists inside your screen, and whenever you yell at him to dance, he comes out and dances. Obviously, I have all the same things going on that you do, and I do this for free. You are not owed anything, and if you think that it is somehow acceptable to sit there and repeatedly browbeat a person who is literally fighting for their life because the monkey isn't coming out to dance for you often enough and entertain you, then I'm not the only one with a malignant condition. It's just that yours is attached to your soul. You need to reflect on that. I did a show called Metal Bass Monday for every week for over 2 years. And you're trying to tell me that, of course, you've watched all of it. You've mastered all of it. You just have it all down. Really? Why? I find it hard to believe most people would need constant new content with the amount of stuff that I've put out. Whereas if you have learned and done everything in those videos, you will have fantastic chops. You're definitely in a band. You're working on an album. You're touring. I've given career advice. Everything you can possibly need to know. So maybe it's time you do a video so you can blow me away with how you've mastered and done all of this stuff, and you can send me your album and tell me when you're touring, because of course you have. You don't just sit there and want me to keep doing videos that you're never going to act on just so you can sit there and stare at it and then demand more. Well, I've got a special lesson actually just for you. It's about 3-finger technique. As some of you know, and I've done lessons, I use these 3 fingers to pluck. But a little secret, if I only have to use single digit for stuff, there's one that I use in particular. A little lesson just for you. So, with that out of the way, and that negativity, because this has been a tough and a bummer video, I'd rather pick up from there and again reiterate, thank you so much for the messages and the kindness, and still visiting the channel and still watching the videos, and patrons that have hung in with me. I haven't forgotten you. I know there's some stuff due, and I am working on that as a priority. I do have a couple of gear demos that I know I can get through and are going to be coming up here shortly, so you will be getting something a little bit here in the very near future. As far as going forward, will the channel come to an end? Well, obviously, because, yeah, I'm just not going to be there to do it. But I still enjoy it. I'm committed to coming in at least once in a while and checking in with you guys. And if nothing else, just doing some live streams and things and offering advice or just cool talk and hanging in the community. So since this is also being done right before the holidays, I hope you all have an amazing, safe, healthy, and happy holiday season. And definitely be conscious of your health and don't let it slip by. As artists or people who are driven to do things, we often neglect that type of thing, and stuff can go sideways real quick. So genuinely, take care of yourselves. Keep an eye on how you feel. Make sure that you're not ignoring something. So with all that said, and that wrapped up, I think that's going to do it. I will definitely see or talk to you in some form here soon. And genuinely, all the best. McG out. The hell? You let me film an entire video with this thing like this on the back of my head, like I'm the Elephant Man or something? Couldn't say something? No. Yeah, I mean, why would you? Appreciate it. I'm gonna need some whiskey in this.